All right, so we have, listen, I'm jumping around. I love this book so much. I mean, we could talk for ages, but I want to make sure we just get this into a certain period of time so people don't, get too tired of hearing you and I talk. But we talked earlier about, and we'll end on this about what's next, because you go into detail about this near the end of your book, and I do want to have your final thoughts on what is next. You sell your business, you should be thinking ahead. You say that you need to uncover sort of three big components. What are your strengths, what are your passions, what are your lifestyle priorities? What does all that mean?
Yeah, so that whole process to me is just so exciting to go through with an owner. And what I really recommend, I mean, it works for other executives as well, but in the context of the book, it's targeted towards an owner. But what is important is that they start this process around 6 months or so before they actually leave, because they're going through a transition where, on the one hand, they are moving towards something that right now is really unclear.
Mm,
Directional interest, but they're also letting go of something that they have held dear for a long time, which is their business. And so the three components that you were talking about are kind of the model that I've built around that. And the first component is, what are your favorite strengths? And that's important is, first of all, the favorite piece is really important. When someone is moving into their next chapter, they have earned the right not to have to do things that are strengths of theirs, but they hate doing. They want to be investing in strengths that they really enjoy. So
yeah.
I always target the favorite strengths. And I've got some tools that I help them with, to really surface up what are those favorite strengths, because our culture also doesn't make it easy for people to talk about what their strengths are. So sometimes, it gets a little bit tricky for owners to figure that out. And the second one that you talked about is uncovering your passions. And at this point in your career, at this point in your life, it's really about doing things that bring you joy, doing things that motivate you and that you're passionate about. And I know that most people that I work with really sort of they struggle a little bit with this, because they think about it in terms of, well, but Abby, I'm passionate about basketball, but I'm not going to play basketball. I'm not going to coach basketball. So why is that relevant? And basketball itself is not necessarily the most relevant part of that process. But the reason that someone loves basketball is maybe because they love the strategy of the game.
Mm,
Maybe it's because they love the um, the the team environment, and working with a group of people towards a common objective, winning the game. Maybe it's because they love the idea of, I don't know, I'm just making some things up now. And so what we're doing when we look at passions is we're really getting underneath what are the motivators. And when we can pull on those motivators, now we can say, all right, well, maybe you're not going to apply it to basketball, but what would you want to apply it to? And we start to generate some interest and intrigue in different areas that might be a part of their next chapter.